In 1978, the name Micheal Weller became whispered among the guards of Redgate State Penitentiary, a cold, gray building on the outskirts of town where winters lasted too long and the walls seemed to hum at night. Weller was quiet when he arrived. He barely spoke during intake, staring off as if listening to something only he could hear. The warden called him polite but unnerving. He never raised his voice, never complained, but everyone who passed his cell swore they felt the temperature drop. Strange events started within weeks. Lights in his block flickered constantly, though maintenance could find no fault in the wiring. Radios picked up faint whispering when officers walked by his cell, and papers left on the warden's desk sometimes fluttered though no air moved. The chaplain, Father Elias Brandt, was the first to sense something deeper. When he spoke to Weller through the bars, the air felt heavy, thick, as if the entire block was holding its breath. Weller told him softly, "He's here when it's quiet." When asked who, Weller only smiled and said, "The one who never leaves." Soon the other inmates began refusing to sleep near his cell. They said he spoke in languages no one recognized, and that sometimes another voice answered him, one that didn't sound human. Guards started keeping their distance too. Several reported hearing Weller whispering their names long after they'd left the area. Then, on November 12, 1978, something happened that no one could explain. At exactly 2:17 a.m., every light in the prison went out at once. The power returned 30 seconds later. But the cameras in cell block C showed only static, except one frame. In it, Weller stood in the middle of his cell, eyes turned upward, arms raised, surrounded by faint glowing shapes like shadows in reverse. Father Brandt was called in again the next morning. He entered Weller's cell with a Bible and a tape recorder. The session lasted only 20 minutes, but the recording survived. On it, the priest's voice can be heard praying steadily, until another voice cuts in, layered and hollow, speaking through Weller's. It says, "He belongs to me." Moments later, the tape ends in a burst of static. When guards entered the cell, Weller was sitting quietly in the corner, calm as ever. The priest was pale and shaken, unable to explain what he'd heard. His final note in the visitor log read only, "This man is not alone." After that, the activity worsened. Cold spots formed in the hallways. Doors slammed without reason. Some guards reported seeing movement in the corner of their vision, tall figures that vanished when the lights flickered back on. The warden ordered Weller moved to solitary confinement, but that did little to help. One night, during rounds, the guards found his cell empty. The door was still locked. No sign of escape, no damage, no explanation. Just one sentence written neatly on the wall in what looked like dust, still inside. An investigation followed, but nothing was proven. Officially, Micheal Weller was listed as missing during transfer. Unofficially, the staff avoided that corridor for the rest of their careers. By 1983, Redgate was shut down entirely. Locals said the building had a bad presence, that machines broke down for no reason, and that voices still echoed in the basement where solitary used to be. To this day, people who visit the ruins claim to feel a chill when they pass the sealed cell. Some say if you stand there long enough, you'll hear tapping, slow and rhythmic, like someone knocking from the other side of the wall. And if you listen closely, you might just hear a voice whispering through the dust and static, "I never left."